How's it going, everyone? Got a couple of free updates to go over in this video. Sonic Racing Crossworlds will be adding a very notable new character as a free update as well. Palworld will be getting its latest free update. Now remember, Palworld will be launching in 1.0 in 2026. So at this point, I would not be expecting significant content updates, not to the extent of like a fade break, until 1.0 drops. We know that they're cooking up a major content update for the launch of 1.0, and remember, with the launch of 1.0, chances are the price is going to go up, so don't expect the world out of this, but we'll talk about that. On top of that, interesting update for Days Gone just rolled out. Yes, Days Gone remastered and the original. We'll talk all about that, and a game that I really enjoyed from a couple of months ago, Shinobi Art of Vengeance, is getting a Sega Villain Stage DLC. Paid DLC, keep that in mind, and it'll be taking some games from Sega's history, some iconic characters. You've got a really cool one getting added as well. Really enjoyed Shinobi Art of Vengeance. Want to give that game a plug at the end of this video. But first of all, Sonic Racing Crossworlds update is adding Joker from Persona 5 on October the 22nd. And on top of that, an in-game Joker festival will be running from October 23rd to October 26th. Sonic Racing Crossworlds is a game that Sega sent me a copy of. Unfortunately, I have not been able to sink too much time into the game. From what I hear, it seems like people are really enjoying it as a kart racer. What I was vocal about was the fact that a $70 price tag was gonna be a bit of a hard sell for a game of this caliber, so to speak. There was a premium edition with other characters, I believe, for $100, or maybe it was $90, but I just think that's a hefty price point to pay, and I know I'm being a broken record with that. Oh, Borderlands 4, $130 here, $70 there, $80 there, and you can make the argument, hey, Mario Kart World was 80 bucks. However, Mario Kart World was really the big Nintendo Switch 2 launch exclusive, and most people got the $500 bundle. Like, if you were buying a Switch 2, Mario Kart World was essentially an essential purchase. If you have a PS5, it's not like Sonic Racing Crossworlds is an essential purchase. But the thing about it is Sega games always go on sale pretty quickly, especially when you hit the Black Friday territory, and we just covered that Best Buy Black Friday sale will be happening. I would imagine that Sonic Racing is going to be down to $40, $45, around that range, and I think at that price point, it could be quite a good pickup. It's unfortunate when, you know, back in the day when we would look at some of these $60 games during Black Friday, they'd be down to $30, $35. Now we're talking about them being down to $40, $45, so you're still kind of paying an appreciated price, but I feel like it'll be worthwhile if you're into kart racers, and it's nice to have a high-quality arcade racer with a lot of iconic characters. You know, Mario Kart's great, but it's a Nintendo Switch exclusive. Some of you guys want a kart racer with some iconic characters and notable characters on PlayStation, and I feel like Sonic Racing Crossworlds really offers that, and adding Joker, definitely a great addition there. Moving on from that, Palworld will be getting its free Halloween update on October the 23rd. Now, this is the post that they put out. Halloween is coming to Palworld. Rumor has it that Zoe has been spotted in a rather unusual new outfit, but that's not the only mystery. Something strange is happening to the adorable Pal Depresso. Reports have come in of mysterious figures roaming the Palpagos Islands, dressed in what appear to be Depresso costumes. What could be going on? Stay tuned for more details coming soon, and keep an eye out for whatever tricks might be brewing in Palworld. Thank you as always for your continued support of Palworld. I should also note they just announced that they're doing a Depresso Espresso crossover. Pretty cool stuff there. I love to see Palworld break in and make partnerships with other companies and monetizing this game in other avenues. That's what I think more so that Nintendo is a little bit fearful of when it comes to Palworld. Palworld in a vacuum, just being a game, is what it is. It did incredibly well. 2 million concurrent players on Steam, sold well on PlayStation, so on and so forth, but Palworld breaking outside of just the game area and then getting merchandise deals, getting crossovers, potentially, you know, way down the line if there's like a television adaptation or something to that extent and it becomes a multimedia franchise, that's where I think Nintendo's like, all right, buddy, relax there. We don't want that to happen. But, you know, that's just my speculation, and obviously the lawsuit has been a very publicized ongoing debacle for Palworld. Debacle might not be the wrong word, but you get it, an ongoing case. But the game has still been doing incredibly well. I do know that they've had to make some mechanical adjustments to the game, which isn't ideal to say the least, but it is what it is. The game is still going to be continuing selling a lot, and while this Halloween themed update will be coming, do keep in mind that don't be expecting anything major for the game. At least I wouldn't be expecting anything major, because right now it has to be all hands on deck, or mostly all hands on deck. They're doing a Halloween update, but mostly all hands on deck towards 1.0. 1.0 is going to be big in 2026, and we know that Palworld is getting its launch in 2026 in its official 1.0 state. That's why I would recommend you, if you have yet to buy the game, $22.49 on the PlayStation Store right now. That deal is ending here very shortly as a part of the Player's Choice sale, but man, $22.49 for all the content that's already available in the game is a bargain, is a steal. But then on top of that, you're gonna have the 1.0 update that comes out next year. I would imagine that to be a significant update at the level of a Fade Break, but we'll see how big that update is. And then beyond that, the price point is gonna go up. It's probably gonna go up to $40. I think going up to $50 would be a little bit too much, but at least $40. And if I was Pocket Pair, after the 1.0 launch, would definitely figure out a way to get the ball rolling on physical copies, because, like, looking a little bit ahead of time. Let's say 1.0 drops in summer of 2026. I think that would be a little bit late, but at the latest, summer of 2026. If we can get physical copies done for Palworld, imagine in the holidays of 2026 when Palworld is on store shelves. That would be a great holiday item for a lot of people to pick up, and at that point, that's how you're gonna grow Palworld as an IP. And after 1.0 comes out, it should be really figuring out avenues to grow this IP even more, get it on store shelves. You know, hopefully they don't run into problems with that, but you know, I think that is what they have to look at, and I think doing a lot of little things, I think doing merchandising deals, things of that nature, making these pals become more iconic figures within Palworld, and beyond that as well, getting it all over merchandise. I just think it's really interesting to look at it from that angle on beyond the 1.0 release. What is the future of Palworld? What is the follow-up? How can we monetize this IP even further? Because I think that is ultimately where Palworld is really going to reach its ceiling. The 2 million concurrent players, I don't think that's ever going to be really achievable again. Who knows? We've seen crazier, but that's a lofty, lofty goal to reach for, and it was a lightning in the bottle type of moment. But in terms of the longevity of Palworld, post 1.0 is really where the ball gets rolling, and we're going to see what the longevity of this IP is going to be. You know, it could have been a fad. It could have been a lightning in the bottle moment, but we'll see post 1.0 where it's at. I hope it's more beyond that. Moving on from that, Days Gone. Patch 1.036 has added compatibility for a power saver mode on PlayStation 5 and PlayStation 5 Pro. A lot of speculation that these power saver options being added to games like Demon's Souls, like Days Gone, is gonna parlay into the potential PlayStation handheld that will be released alongside the PlayStation 6 that'll be running PlayStation 5 titles and potentially PS6 titles as well. I'm really curious to see how that turns out. That idea of a handheld, definitely exciting to me. I love handhelds. Sometimes I feel like I romanticize the thought of handhelds. Like, I'll play games on my ROG Ally. I have one of those, not the Ally X, just the regular one that I got in 2023. And, you know, it's cool. It's definitely a spectacle sometimes to see marquee console-oriented games like a Ghost of Tsushima or a God of War running on the Ally. But then I realized, you know, these games aren't at the ideal performance, not at the ideal visual settings, and games like that I would very much rather play on a bigger screen with the best performance possible. What I love about handhelds is the ability to play some lower-end games, indie titles, JRPGs, you know, taking a game like a Tales of Vesperia and having it on the handheld where I think, you know, you can make some progress before bed or something like that. That's really where a handheld shines to me. The idea of playing Days Gone or Demon's Souls on a handheld, not really, you know, my avenue, but I think people will differentiate and have different opinions as far as that's concerned, but Days Gone adding compatibility for a power saver mode. Lastly, a game that I would totally play on a handheld is Shinobi Art of Vengeance, and there is some DLC coming to that game in the Sega villain stages, and we now know the final villain that will be a part of the Sega Villain Stage DLC, quote-unquote villain if you want to call him that. Majima from the Like a Dragon and Yakuza series is the final guest villain in the Sega Villains Stage DLC. You've also got Dr. Eggman for the Sonic the Hedgehog series and Death Adder from the Golden Axe series. I love Shinobi Art of Vengeance. I thought it was an incredibly stylish action platformer. You know, some of the platforming sections by the end of the game definitely infuriated me. Maybe that's a get good kid kind of thing, but yeah, definitely was damn near ready to break a controller, but finished the game, had a fantastic time with it, thought it was an incredibly stylish action platformer, and definitely would give that a strong recommendation. You know, for $30, I think it's a worthwhile game. 8 to 12 hours of gameplay, some replayability, and the optional challenges and whatnot. The DLC itself is baked into the deluxe edition, and it is out in early 2026. Whether you pick up Shinobi right away or you wait for a discount, screams a PlayStation Plus game down the line to me. Like, I think that could be a great secondary or tertiary plus game in 2026. I think that would be a really good one, but that'll do it for me. Again, Sonic Racing Crossworld getting a free update, adding Joker, Palworld getting a free Halloween update, a Power Saver mode added to Days Gone. That could potentially lead to a, optimization on a handheld device, and we're seeing a little bit more of that. And there might be some smoke there as far as what Sony and PlayStation is cooking up there. And Shinobi Art of Vengeance, not saying it's my game of the year, but a game that I really enjoyed, and it's one of those compact, concise experiences. Get in, get out quick, and had a great time with it, and you're going to be getting that Villains DLC in 2026. That's going to do it for me. Let me know all of your thoughts in the comment section down below. As always, sound off there. Thank you for watching, and goodbye. Hey guys, we hope you enjoyed the video, and if you did, make sure to hit the subscribe button, and if you're already subscribed, do us a favor and hit the bell icon. This way you'll be notified whenever we post a new video. That's the best way to keep up with all of our uploads, and we usually try to upload 2 videos a day. And with the bell icon hit, you'll be notified whenever we do upload a video. As always, thanks for watching.